Hey there, how's it going? Check out this epic view. Is that wild or what? This is the island of Karpathos, and that is the main town of Pagadia, the capital of the island and the port right down there, which I came to by ferry yesterday afternoon from Simi. Karpathos here is a pretty good sized island. It looks smaller than you might think because it is next to Rhodes, and Rhodes is pretty huge, and so I wasn't aware that Karpathos was as big as it is, but not a particularly popular or touristy island, especially now it is October. The population of the island here is only about 6,000 for the entire island, so for a pretty large island, that's amazing. And it apparently has some really epic beaches. I'm going to get started walking, and I'm going to walk down there. The way that I got up here, my hotel is down in the middle of things down there somewhere, and I saw this hill and just wanted to get out and do a little hike and get a perspective on the view here. And so I just walked from there this general direction and then found this road over here, and then it led up over here. So going to start walking, hopefully get out of the wind. Hopefully that isn't going to be a issue here, but probably it will be. And so there's a smaller island of Saria nearby, right next to Karpathos, and apparently that was part of Karpathos at one time, and then it was separated due to an earthquake. So that must have been a massive earthquake to split the island in two. And then there's a cool view looking down over here. Show that real quick and then get around the corner and hopefully get away from this wind. Check that out. Little church and a cemetery. Classic Greece. These barren landscapes here and the sharp rocks and stuff. It is about 5:30 in the evening. And so in the course of this video, then I'm going to walk all the way down to the town there and give a little taste of the town. And so I wanted to give a little travel update, and also in this video talk about the countries that I'd like to go to, just like in general, sometime in my life, not necessarily on this trip. And so I am probably going to go next to Crete. Crete is out there. I've never been there. It is the largest island of Greece, and kind of south, basically the most southerly island of Greece, other than Gavdos, which was my ultimate plan for this trip, was to go to Gavdos, a tiny little island just south of Crete, and a very remote and unpopulated island with no like real villages, I guess, just like some stores and houses, just like a very small number of people actually live there. But then my plans got a little rearranged when I tried to meet my friend Daniela up on Samos, and did meet her, but then that got messed up when she twisted her ankle and had to fly back to the Netherlands. But I was planning to originally go from Anafi, the first island that I was on this trip, and from there go straight to Crete, just catch a ferry right down to Crete, and then from there make my way around to Gavdos. And then things just got, mixed up there as a result of being further north. And so I'm kind of making my way back south, and it looks like I will end up going to Crete, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Gavdos. I could still do it. There's going to be lots of cats along this walking route. Anyways, probably go to Crete next, and then from there either like go back to Athens or catch a flight straight to somewhere else. As for that somewhere else, then I just don't know quite yet, but I'm considering various options, looking at flights, trying to see what makes sense. I would like to go to at least one, if not a couple of new countries on this trip. And so this is the way that I walked up, so I'll go back up this way. And so I'm looking at Malta, I'm looking at Georgia, like going to Tbilisi, Macedonia, maybe Turkey, Tunisia, Egypt, possibly, but just not sure. I just have to make a decision. But basically, then I want to visit a couple of new countries, on this trip, probably short term, and then go back to Western Europe and maybe like return to the Netherlands, see Amsterdam again. And then I want to go back to the UK. I haven't been to the UK since 1990 when I was 18 and hitchhiked from London to Cornwall in southwest England, and then from there all the way to John O'Groats at the top of Scotland, and then over to Ireland, and then continued on my trip for the rest of the summer, that summer of 1990, and then came back to London and flew out of London back to California at the end of that summer, and then I haven't been back to London or the UK since then. So it'd be cool to see London. Of course, it's going to be getting, you know, colder and now going into fall, but I might fly from London back to the United States. Maybe, you know, just take a break from the traveling for the winter, move back to Portland, Oregon, possibly, or we'll see, maybe do like a winter of working at a ski resort. That would be really cool. Getting a look at some classic back neighborhoods here. Meow. And so lots of options and nothing for certain yet. Now, as for where I would like to travel next in the world, like, you know, in the coming years, then there are just so many places that come to mind. There are lots of countries that I would like to return to that I've, you know, been to already. I would like to go to Croatia and see more of Croatia, see the Croatian islands. I didn't see any islands of Croatia. As I mentioned, I'd like to go to Macedonia. Haven't been there yet, and Serbia and Kosovo. There's lots more of Greece I want to see. I could easily come back to Greece again and again and see more new islands and also show more of the mainland. Looks like I'm at a dead end here, so turn around. I have actually explored quite a lot of the mainland of Greece, but on earlier trips when I wasn't filming. My first time to Europe in 1990, I came to Greece and spent a month here, and I went to the Peloponnesus, climbed Mount Olympus, went to Meteora, Thessaloniki, and then in 2009 I was back in Greece and went to the Pelion Peninsula, the Peloponnesus again, Delphi, and some other places. But there's always still, you know, more to see in Greece. I'd like to go back to Egypt and show more of Egypt and show the pyramids, like do a proper awesome pyramids video. I'd like to go back to Turkey and show Cappadocia, one of my favorite places, absolutely incredible area of central Turkey with like all these strange looking landscapes. There are cities underground there, massive cities that could hold 50,000 people, 12 stories of tunnels dug into the rock. A lot to see there, and then more of Turkey, of course, and then, as I mentioned, I'd like to go to Malta. I'd like to go to more islands of the Mediterranean. Sicily, haven't been to Sicily. There's so much more of Italy to see. I've been to Ibiza, but that was in December, so it'd be cool to go back there in the summer, and also go to Mallorca and Menorca. I want to go back to Morocco and see more of Morocco. There's a lot more to see. And so my room is up here. I'll walk past there. And then Africa, of course, is a whole continent that I've barely touched, other than just Egypt and Morocco. I'd like to see Ethiopia, South Africa, Namibia, Tunisia, which might possibly happen this trip, we'll see. And then South America, I want to go back, and the last time that I was in South America, the only time, I went to Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador. I wanted to go to Bolivia on that trip and ran out of time and had to hightail it back to Bogota to catch my flight because I had a flight booked. So this is my place right here. I have a cool room right down there. It's about 30 euros per night, a nice apartment, like spacious apartment with like a separate bedroom and a kitchen and good Wi-Fi, and then a supermarket right nearby. And so the next time that I go back to South America, then I want to go to Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. Those are the three that I'm most interested in seeing, but of course there's more. Interesting place here. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, art center. Gracias. And then I'd love to see Greenland. That's pretty high on the list. And I want to go back to Iceland. And it's really boiling away there. It's a bit smelly around here too. And hitchhike all the way around the island. See more of the country beyond Reykjavik. I was only there for 6 days the last time because it was so expensive. But now I can afford it better. So if you go back and see more of the country. And then one of the areas that I am most interested in exploring is Central Asia. The whole region of like the Stans, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Georgia. All right, I'm riding along here with a friend. Tell me your name again?
Eteri.
Eteri. And you're from?
Georgia.
Georgia, the country of Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I'm considering going to this time. Armenia, Mongolia, of course. Tuva is a teeny tiny country that is actually part of Russia, between Mongolia and Russia, but within Russia, but a very unique culture, I guess. And then Tibet, of course. China is, you know, just kind of a must-see at some point. I've been to China for 1 day. Just doing some walking around here in Shanghai. Ooh, strawberries. If I had a yuan, I might buy one, but I haven't got one yuan. So I count China as one of the countries that I've visited, but, you know, that doesn't really count. And then I want to go back to Indonesia. Damn this city traffic. And see a lot more of Indonesia. So far I've just seen Bali, the Gili Islands. Just getting my feet wet here. I think I'm pretty much halfway around the island at this point. And Lombok Island. Alright, I'm on a horse taxi here. Just got off the boat from Gili Air Island, where I spent the past week, had a really amazing time. And I'm now on the island of Lombok, which is the larger island next to the Gili Islands, and it's just east of Bali. Your name?
Me.
Your name?
Jamal.
Jamal?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gabriel.
What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. They've been having a rough time with earthquakes there, unfortunately. And then Antarctica, of course, would be absolutely epic. And I'd like to go back to Mexico and see much more of Mexico. And more of Central America. Panama looks amazing. Nice little square here. I haven't been here yet. things are very quiet. Got some yummy looking Greek dishes here. Gyros, saganaki, Greek salad, kebab, mixed grills, special plate, namaraj. Yummy sta, stuffed tomato and pepper. That's really good. Oven-baked spaghetti. I wonder if that might be juvetzi, which I got once before that was really good. Or maybe it's something different because it wasn't really like spaghetti, but it was like this in a pot with lots of cheese. Octopus, salmon, swordfish, moussaka. Oh, here's juvetzi. Okay. Stefano. Anyway, get down here and give a little taste of the harbor.
Yes, my friend.
Yes, us.
How are you?
I'm great, great.
Good, nice.
I'm not eating quite yet, so yeah. It's very quiet now
Yeah.
because it's going into low season.
There's not too much people in the island now. It's quiet.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice sleeping, girl.
Yep, okay, maybe I come back later.
Hey.
And I'll walk along the harbor here. I'm afraid this is going to get blasted by the wind here, we'll see. And then Vietnam, definitely. And of course, Australia, New Zealand, gotta go there. The South Pacific, haven't been there at all. And the Caribbean. I've barely been to the Caribbean other than just some islands off the coast of Belize.
Very much nasty, depends on what you can afford.
Cheaper is better.
You got tropical oyster, 25 Belize dollars.
25 Belize?
Belize dollars for down bed.
And Mexico. Cozumel and Isla Mujeres in Mexico, and then Key Calker and Ambergris Key of Belize, but that isn't really a proper Caribbean islands, so Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, so much to see there obviously. What a nice view here, and I'm sure I'm leaving some places out. That kind of like covers the whole world, but obviously I have my work cut out for me. It is not really a goal of mine to try to see every country. I would predict that that won't happen for me, which is fine because I've seen a lot and I'm sure that I will see more, and it's not a goal or a mission to like rack up the most number of countries or whatever. I mean, that's kind of part of the fun, but I don't care if I don't see every country on earth. And there are always places that I'd love to return to and just go back to those places that I've been to that I already know are nice and that are nice to hang out in. There's more of India I want to see. I've been there 9 times, as I mentioned. And in India, I want to go to Kerala. I haven't been to Kerala. I want to go to Sikkim and Darjeeling. I want to do the bus trip from Manali up to Leh, which I tried to do 4 years ago, and the pass wasn't open yet because it was too early in the season, and I ended up going to Leh anyways, but through Kashmir. Some nice maneuvering there. That is an ice cream salesman. Hello! Hello! But that bus journey through the Himalayas to Leh looks absolutely incredible, and there are some offshoots you can do also of really amazing places to see along that route. Or who knows, you know, maybe I'll learn how to drive a motorcycle and do it by motorbike. Alex Chacon is posting videos from that very route right now that are really awesome. But for now, first things first, just got to focus on the present, and one thing that is relatively certain is I will be taking a ferry from right here within the next couple of days. I'm at the place that I'm staying for the next 3 nights, and I still have to check the ferries and see what the ferry schedule is. But probably I'll be going that way out to Crete and then book a flight in the next week or so to somewhere else. And then last thing, I just wanted to mention, people have asked, am I getting the GoPro 7? Absolutely. That is like ASAP, like as soon as I see it, basically. All depending, because I'd like to be somewhere that if there's any problems I can return it. But maybe on this trip, if I stay somewhere like in a bigger city for a week or something, then I'll get it. And otherwise, definitely when I go back to the US, assuming that happens in the next like month or something like that. So there you go. We'll see where I end up next. Later. And so I came back to the restaurant that I walked past earlier, and I got a Giovezzi, meatballs and pasta, and garlic bread. That looks awesome. And a cool restaurant here with lots of plants. And a nice view of the bay here.